Today I'm going to be watching this video. It's called Why Are the Dutch the Best Non-Native English Speakers in the World? And yeah, I live in Malaysia, and surprisingly actually English is very widely spoken here to a good level as well. Other countries in Asia like Philippines, Singapore have a lot of very good English speakers. Of course, I know Netherlands is the country with the highest percentage of non-native English speakers. So interested to see this, why that's the case. I mean, even if you're comparing to other European countries like Germany, France, why is it? What makes the Dutch the best? You can tell me what you think in your opinion as well. Let's watch and we can learn.
Well, I think that has its origin in trade.
Dutch are citizens of the world and not citizens of the Netherlands. Yeah.
It's our DNA to, if we want to do business, if you want to make friends as a small country, you have to be open-minded to the rest of the world. And in business, I think that like 60% of our income, national income, comes from abroad.
Okay.
So we have to speak our languages, otherwise we don't earn a lot.
I think
That's actually interesting to begin with. The first one that was mentioned, trade, that kind of makes sense because the Netherlands has such a long history in trade. You can kind of look at it from the other side as well, but countries like Spain, France, other colonial powers had a lot of influence throughout the world, but today Netherlands is so far ahead with non-native English speakers, so that might not be purely the case, but also things like business today, the Netherlands being such a big exporter, and that would obviously help as well, but other countries like Germany, for example, are big exporters as well. So maybe it's just a mixture of those things that have been mentioned so far that make Netherlands such good non-native English speakers. But maybe it's just that focus in that long-term thinking of using that to benefit the country as a whole as well.
I think you're more successful when the communication goes well. So it's for us always very important to speak our language as well.
The Dutch mindset is if you speak English, you come farther in the world.
And the Dutch are citizens of the world and not citizens of the Netherlands. Yeah.
So you mean we like to travel? Or?
Yeah, like to travel a lot.
Or via work, like I already explained, or colleagues, or via music, or theater, whatever.
I traveled a lot when I was younger, so then I met a lot of international people and my English improved, I think.
When you use it, you learn it.
When we are like 10 or something, we start learning it.
You learn English when you are in
Primary school,
primary school already, so yeah.
I learned it due to me liking a TV show, and it was on one station, and one station only, and it was only in English, so
okay.
I had to learn it simply because of that show.
And which show was that?
Some sort of Scooby-Doo, but the newer version, so it wasn't translated yet.
But you mostly learned from just exposure, no?
Yeah, TV shows, YouTubers.
I know she spoke English
Yeah.
before she went to school.
Yeah.
I know that.
Okay.
Simply just because I wanted to watch YouTube videos.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, yeah. So I guess that's another discussion is how you actually learned it. So I guess as with other European countries, English is widely learned, but were you someone who wanted to learn it? You actively went and found other sources to learn, whether it's YouTube, TV, different things. How did you actually learn it? How do Dutch people in general learn it? Again, other countries in Europe all kind of learn English, but some other countries don't learn it as well, or don't see the importance in learning it as much as maybe the Dutch do. I think it's great. It's very open-minded from Dutch people. Maybe that's another thing, just the personality of Dutch people being more open-minded. Some countries you go to around the world, they're just very focused on their own language and don't see the potential long-term benefits of learning English for things like trade and business and so on. But the Netherlands seem to take it relatively seriously.
Was it mostly the movies that helped you get to a good level, or was it mostly the school?
Yeah, it's difficult. I think it's the basis
Yeah.
was school,
Yeah.
but later on, talking with people, seeing movies, I think that later on in life, you start to understand the language better. My kids are inside, they are 12, 14 and 20, they speak fluently English.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, also because of all the series on Netflix, television, Spotify, music. The whole culture is more English orientated.
Yeah.
We're copying the culture from those countries, so they are very familiar with English, more than I am.
Mm-hmm.
We watch movies
English.
and series in English with subtitles and not like in Germany, like it's nagesynchroniseerd. I don't know the English word for this.
When you see Germany,
Or is it like, was that maybe, I don't know Dutch of course, but maybe like in Germany, what I do know is they watch a lot of movies that have been dubbed, I think, to German. So maybe in Netherlands you prefer to watch in with the English language and just the Dutch subtitles. Maybe is that what was meant there? For me personally, I watch mostly European TV shows, so I always watch in the original language, not to learn, just because I prefer the sound of it and I just get more into it by doing that. I feel like dubbed things, I can't really take it too seriously, especially like fake American accents, things like that. But yeah, I guess it just depends on what people enjoy really, or what the culture is.
when you see Germany, they have the English movies are speak into they speak German in the movies, and while it's an English movie, and we have the subtitles. So that's why we learn better English than the German people, or maybe the French people as well.
I watch also movies on English on YouTube. They are not subtitled in the Dutch, so I have to concentrate. And also in daily life, some words, not all the time, but some words I use English words.
What's the one you use the most?
Okay.
Okay. Do you feel someone can easily live in the Netherlands while only speaking English?
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, because almost everyone speaks English.
Okay.
You can use it in the shop, or yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you can live here without speaking Dutch.
Okay. And if you live somewhere more remote, do you think you could still get by with English easily, or would it be more difficult, do you think?
Outside the cities, you mean? In the I think everybody in these days, most people, if you're younger than 70 years, then you understand Dutch. Understand English, yes. Talk English.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I moved here from India around 4.5 years ago, and since then I've been living in Amsterdam.
In your experience, what percentage of Dutch people speak English?
In my experience till now, 100% of them. Of course, like when I'm meeting people who are like a little bit older, like let's say 60s plus, they have a little hard time with it. Mm-hmm. So the conversations I try to mix a little bit Dutch so that I can convey what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
But then at least with the younger generation, which is what I mostly interact with, they are very proficient in English. Like I never had a problem talking to them.
Pretty cool, yeah. So I guess there's like a variety of reasons why the Dutch are the best non-native English speakers in the world. Yeah, really, tell me what you think in your opinion. Do you think people can get by only speaking English in Netherlands? I feel like anybody moving to Netherlands has a responsibility to like at least learn Dutch anyway. Yeah, I just find it interesting. Like for me, my children are learning English, but I live in Malaysia, so they're learning Malay, also Mandarin as well. So learning like 3 languages, it's quite difficult to teach, but things like this, getting exposure to TV shows and different learning methods is quite important. So for me, it's quite just interesting to see like what other people think about learning languages as well. Tell me your experience of learning English. Again, hopefully you're not learning English from my accent. I don't want Dutch people speaking like this ununderstandable, man. Unfortunately, my accent is maybe not the most clear to some people outside of Scotland, but hopefully you can understand me. And yeah, tell me what you think about this video. Thanks.